Welcome back, everybody. A few days ago, I realized that I'd built several dozen new prefabs since the last video, so I figured it was about time to make a new one. And once I actually started making a list of all the new prefabs, I realized there were almost 60 of them. If there's any one theme to this list, it's that I've started putting budgets aside in favor of detail and accuracy. I thought I'd try to more accurately recreate the animation of the doors in Prime 1. It's a bit impractical in large numbers due to the amount of scripts, but it works just fine as long as you remember to weld each tooth together first. And to go with it, here's a significantly more accurate, and significantly more expensive, version of the Chozo lock. I also took a shot at making the doors from Samus Returns, and I would have succeeded if not for a bizarre glitch with the scripting that causes the hatch to drift away indefinitely instead of returning to its starting point. I guess you could still use it as a prop though. This has some ammo crates built into it, so it'll refill your ammo just like the stations in Samus Returns. I originally wanted this to have a flashing lights animation whenever it's activated, like the original one, but for whatever reason, the lights never spawned consistently enough. I made a bunch of prefabs based on assets in Prime 1. They're all decorative from what I can tell, but the game never actually says one way or another. I also made a few varieties of Chozo Lore walls. You might remember this from the Hall of Elders, where the Chozo Statue sits. But that's enough Chozo stuff for now. On to the Luminoth! I remade this prefab enemy into something a bit more accurate and a bit prettier, but sadly, it's just as uncooperative as the first version. Still works as a prop though. I have a feeling I'm going to be using this someday, so I saved the whole room as a prefab just in case. One more save station for you. I had some problems with the scripting on this like I did with the Super Metroid one, but this one actually manages to work sometimes. Okay, am I the only one to notice that the Phantom's chin cover looks an awful lot like a Reaper? I feel like I'm probably not the only one. On to some Forerunner stuff. I made a bunch of doors that work more or less identically to all the Metroid doors I've made. Just shoot them to open. These were obviously inspired by the doors in Halo 1, these were inspired by the doors in Halo 4, and these are an original design. Now for something really different. I remember someone showing this idea a very long time ago, and I wish I could remember who it was. Let me know if it was you. Essentially, this uses lights with tiny gobos to act as pixels of sorts. This sign is my recreation of the one I was shown, but I made a couple more on my own. Given their size, these signs might be useful to folks making human environments. Fear the might of my walking tank. Or don't, because it's about 12 inches tall. But now it's time for the main event. I started making statues a month or so ago, and I've taken quite a liking to it. It's an interesting challenge since most of the organic looking pieces are all Covenant and they don't mesh very well with most other pieces. This particular statue is an original design and was inspired by the fact that the base of the Phantom's gun looks an awful lot like a face. Creepy, creepy face. I'm still surprised I got this one to work, honestly. I finally found a use for those Covenant banners outside of what they were intended to be. I noticed on my most recent playthrough of Prime 1 that this statue gets a bit demonic when the Chozo Ghosts ambush you here. Speaking of which, I even tried to make this into an AI enemy, but it likes to scatter itself over half the map for some reason. Oh well. Once I made the first statue, I immediately started looking for other ones to make, and I quickly hit upon this one. This one is a bit weird. It's based on a piece of concept art from Prime 1, and obviously doesn't look a whole lot like the Chozo we actually see in-game, but I still like it a lot. Plus, the draw distance in Halo 5 means that it does a really cool light-up animation when you walk towards it. And now, back to the Luminoth one more time.